Assalamu alaikum. My name's Sam Oates. I work for publisher Peter Owen Publishers. Behind me, this is Louis Hollis. Louis is a filmmaker. We're also related, you can tell, we're cousins. I'd like to thank Abdullah and the London Muslim Centre for inviting us here today to share with you both a film and this book by Hasan Nuhanović, which we've just published only yesterday, in fact, so it's really hot off the presses. It is called The Last Refuge. It is Hasan's memoirs of the Bosnian War and the Srebenica Genocide. I'm told that, Hasan Nuhanović is probably a name that is familiar to some of you, but maybe not to all of you. It's a typically tragic story. It's worth mentioning, in fact, going in reverse order. He's a high-profile campaigner and activist for justice for the victims of the genocide in Bosnia. He helped set up the Potocari Memorial. He is currently working on a new museum out in Potocari. He with the help of lawyers, single-handedly brought a legal case successfully against the government of the Netherlands for its role in the genocide. And his story, I think it begins in 1992. He's a 22-year-old. He's studying engineering at Sarajevo University. And when the war breaks out, he flees with his family and tens of thousands of other Bosniaks through the villages and mountains and forests of eastern Bosnia along the Drina River. He and this large group of refugees obviously make their way to Srebrenica. Hasan survived the genocide because he was employed by the Dutch VAT as an interpreter, and this guaranteed him a ticket on the bus out of Srebrenica. But it was not good enough for his brother, his father, and his mother, who all perished at the hands of the marauding Serb battalions. Last year, I should say that my wonderful colleague, if you can call him a colleague, he's the managing director of the publishing house, is selling the books later, and it's a fantastic read, and I highly recommend you purchase one. Last year, Hasan invited Louis and myself out to Bosnia to make a short documentary. It was originally intended to be an aid of the book, but it morphed into something quite different, and I think maybe Louis can say a few words about what it morphed into.
Hi, good evening. I won't go into too much detail because you're about to watch it, but what you're about to see is a shortened version of a film that we made. I think the premise was quite a simple one to begin with. We wanted to make a film that could accompany the book and sort of illustrate Hasan's experiences in the lead up to Srebrenica. When we got there, as he took us through the villages around the Drina Valley, places where he hid with his family, we came across all these villages which had previously been destroyed, razed to the ground, the inhabitants forced out or killed, and what we found were villages that were partially or entirely rebuilt, and small amounts of people who had returned to rebuild their lives there. And we felt that this was a really important sort of contemporary part of that story. There are not nearly as many people there now as there were, and Hasan sort of laments that these populations are aging and there are very few children here, and so he fears that this is perhaps a longer-term effect of the genocide. And we're very privileged to be able to present this film to you today as part of the commemoration. So thank you very much.